This road trip was the first time we left our home really early in the morning. We left like 4 a.m. and I was a little worried. I always have trouble with my son's sleep, and I was concerned how he would handle the 4 a.m. wake up, but he did cry a little bit once I transferred him into the car seat. But once we got in the car and started driving, he fell back asleep, and he slept all the way until his like normal wake up time. The first drive is 12 hours, and our first stop is Mount Rushmore in South Dakota. After Mount Rushmore, then we made our way to Crazy Horse. That was about 30 minutes away, and we drove through some touristy towns and beautiful views. The whole trip had beautiful views. Last stop in South Dakota was kind of like a last minute decision. We went to Wind Cave National Park. It wasn't too far, and it was just kind of like let's see what's around here, and it looked beautiful. What attracted us to that place was the cave that's there, but we had just missed the tour because you have to go with the tour, the ranger. And that's because baby was sleeping in the car, so we just barely missed it. But we were able to walk the trails that you're allowed to walk by yourself, and that was still very beautiful. We got to catch like the beginning of the sunset, and that was the first time I had seen the sky like that, because I'm usually at home with baby, putting him to sleep. So that was very nice. After South Dakota and a good night's sleep, we were up in the morning, regular time, not too early, and finally making our way to Colorado now. That was another 12 hours, so we kind of made the first stop be fun, but it was like a halfway point to kind of rest, even though we did do a lot on the first day. But we saw so many beautiful things on our way, as you'll see here. Our first stop is Mesa Verde National Park. It was really the whole point of the trip. We added so many things around it, but we were really excited to see this national park. It is so beautiful, and the history, just being able to stand so close to where the indigenous people lived and standing in their homes it's surreal, and it's so beautiful. Actually pretty big, but nothing too strenuous. It's pretty flat. You're just walking your way through the sites. There was one tour that we did not do that probably was a little bit harder, because you do have to climb up a ladder, and that is to see the Sun Temple, which we are very excited to, go back and see it one day with our son once he's old enough. But what we were able to see this day was just beautiful. sure to give our son plenty of breaks, water, and snacks. He is so happy exploring, as you can see here. He loves walking around. He's at that stage where he wants that independence, and we give him as much as we can. So the first half of the trip, I did no screen time. It wasn't needed, but as you can see in this reflection, Bluey is on. It's just such a long trip. He needs something else other than his toys, because I guess they get old pretty quick. We finally made it to the Grand Canyon here, and oh my god, it is so beautiful and breathtaking. Just standing next to that, it was, I mean, for me, it was realizing that all of this was underwater, and now we're standing next to it and it's dry. I mean, it's just, I can't put it into words. Grand Canyon Park is really big, so there was a lot to explore, and there was a point where I left my husband and my son behind and I explored a little bit on my own. This is where I went onto these rocks here that I would not have taken my son on, so that was really fun to experience. A little bit on the dangerous side that I wouldn't have done otherwise. It's so beautiful, and it took all day. There's a lot to see here, and this was the place that was the most crowded of all the places we went to, but it still wasn't like it would have been in the summer. After some lunch and my son took a nap, we explored one of the trails at the Grand Canyon. This is the beginning of one of the hardest hikes that they have. It is not a day trip. You have to camp, down in the Grand Canyon. Obviously, we did not go far. We just wanted to see the beginning of it and went as far as we could, being the time of day and being with our son. It was still a beautiful view. And we did get a couple of looks from people thinking that we probably were going to take the whole trail, but we did not. After our full day here at the Grand Canyon, we decided we were not done. We wanted to extend our trip just with one more place. So we said our goodbyes to the Grand Canyon and got up early in the morning, and we're off to the Arches National Park. There are several trails here at the Arches National Park, but several of them were pretty hard and we were tired. This was the last stop in our trip, so we decided to keep it easy. We just did the shortest, easiest one. Here you can see the arch. We did explore a little bit off trail, but nothing too crazy. We did get some nice pictures, and that's up on my Instagram. This was our first time hiking up on rocks like this. It was a bit of a challenge. Oh, and there was also sand before this, so it was definitely something new. It was exciting. I think we would definitely go back and explore the other trails, either once our son is older, or we would leave him with family on an easier trail and my husband and I could explore the more difficult ones. But yeah, this was definitely something fun with our son. If you would have told me that I would be hiking with my son on my back a year ago, I would not have believed it. I think my mental state a year ago was not where it is today. I am happy, I am thriving, and we're being active. And I'm so glad that we're here now, because I know a year ago my weight and my mental state was convincing me that I couldn't do things, that I had to wait until I had the perfect body or just looked better. But I'm so glad we're here, because being active, being out, and doing what I want to do does make me feel better. And I know one day I'll get there, but I want to show our son that, you know, you don't have to wait for things to be perfect, because they might never be, but you can create your happiness now. And I don't think I've ever been this happy. I mean, seeing these beautiful places and showing our son the beauty of the world is something I'll forever be grateful for.